ho, ho, and welcome to World on My Plate with me, Chef Harsh. It's everyone's favorite time of the year, and I'm gonna take you on a journey to jolly old England, where I've got a really special family-style recipe that's gonna be perfect for your Christmas feast. Today, we're gonna do a super simple chicken shepherd's pie. So let's get right into it. So the first thing we need to do is make our filling for the pie, okay? So first we're gonna get our pot up on a medium-high flame, and we're gonna add a couple of tablespoons of olive oil. Okay, now that our oil is nice and hot, we're gonna go ahead and add our onions. Okay, now that's the sound we're looking for. We wanna hear a nice sizzle, because we wanna get the onions nice and caramelized. We're just gonna cook these for about 15 to 20 seconds, and then we're gonna add our garlic. Now we're gonna add our garlic, and give that a good mix. Now we just wanna cook this until the garlic gets nice and fragrant. Okay, our garlic is turning slightly brown, which is perfect. And now we're gonna add our carrots. Now saute the carrots off for a little while. We have chopped them very, very small because that way all of these ingredients should cook together at the same time. So this should take about a minute or two for the carrots to start softening. All right, looks like our carrots are getting nice and tender. So the next thing we're gonna do is add our chopped tomatoes. Okay, now give those a good mix. And we can immediately go in with our frozen peas as well. Okay, we're just gonna cook this down until the peas are nice and tender. That shouldn't take very long, probably about 30 to 45 seconds. So now we're gonna turn the heat down to a low, okay? And we're gonna add in about 2.5 tablespoons of butter. So we just want the butter to melt into this mixture at a nice low heat. We don't want it to burn. What we're trying to do is make a roux. So that's gonna be the base for our gravy in this shepherd's pie. Okay, so our butter is nice and melted now. And we're gonna go in with the same amount of flour. So we had 2.5 tablespoons of butter. We're gonna add 2.5 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. Okay, now we're gonna quickly mix this together. Make sure that there's no lumps of flour anywhere, so just keep on mixing it with the spoon, get it nice and smooth, and then we're gonna add about 1 cup of water. Okay, we're gonna give this a good mix. Make sure that the flour mixes nicely with the water to create a nice gravy. So now you can see our gravy is nicely forming, it's nicely thickening. So we're gonna flavor this by adding some vegetable stock cube. Okay, we're gonna give that a good mix. And finally, we're gonna add our shredded chicken. So we're gonna gently fold our gravy into our chicken and get a nice even mixture throughout. If it starts to look a little bit dry, you can always add a little bit more water. So our chicken is nicely mixed in with our gravy. All that's left to do is season it with salt and pepper. Okay, and all that's left to do now is we're gonna transfer this over to our casserole dish, and then we're gonna get started on our mashed potato topping. Now that our filling is ready, we're gonna move on to our mashed potato topping. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna lightly mash our potatoes. Now we don't have to get them completely smooth just yet because we're still gonna add a few items in here, and we'll keep on mashing as we go. And what we're gonna do now is we're gonna add about 1/4 cup of grated cheese. You can use any cheese that you want, it doesn't matter. It's just, it gets the potatoes a little more creamy and it gives them a slightly better flavor. And now we're gonna add 4 tablespoons of butter. And the last thing we need to do here is add in just an egg yolk. Okay, so first we're gonna separate the white from the yolk. So now we're just gonna break this egg yolk into our potatoes and make sure that it's mixed in very, very nicely. Lastly, we're gonna season our potatoes with some salt and pepper. So now we're just gonna mix all of this together very gently, and our potatoes are ready. So to put the finishing touches on our shepherd's pie, we're gonna add our potatoes on top of our filling. And we're gonna use our spatula to spread the potatoes out evenly over the top. Okay guys, our shepherd's pie is almost ready. All we need to do is pop it in the oven for about 10 minutes to get a nice golden brown crust on top, and then we're gonna enjoy this bad boy. So guys, our shepherd's pie is out of the oven, and as you can see, it's got a beautiful golden brown crust on top. We've garnished it with some spring onions, and all that's left to do is slice and serve. So here you have it guys, England on my plate. I was inspired to recreate this dish when I went to England, and I went to the tiniest little pub where I was introduced to my first ever shepherd's pie. And I really just respected how the simplest of ingredients could be used to make something so beautiful, so filling, and so comforting. Remember to follow and like Times Now Foodie on Facebook and Instagram, and please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. From all of us here at Times Now Foodie, I'd like to wish you all a very, very Merry Christmas.